if someone is panicking, you don't understand that he's panicking because you don't know him. And the more and more you play together, the more you know each other, so the more you know how to affect each other and how to avoid it. But on the other hand, you as well know how everyone reacts, and you suddenly, if someone is panicking in the team, it easily has impact on your head, and like you can hear it in voice. And I think this is something what is happening right now in the team.
Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview covering VCT EMEA Stage 2. For this occasion, I'm here accompanied by Magnum of Karmine Corp, coming off of a 2-0 series loss to Team Liquid in said stage. And so, Magnum, really do appreciate you taking the time and doing this interview real quick despite the loss, and talking about the loss, talking about the match first and foremost. Coming off of it, how are you feeling?
So for me, it's like I think the Fnatic loss last week was very tough for me, because it was like kind of shock, you know, because in scrims we play on very different level, and that game it was kind of shock, and I don't know, like I just took a lot from that loss, me personally, to be honest, and I think I kind of implemented in this game. Obviously, it probably we still got clapped, but at least like the way I was coming, being positive and blah blah blah. But yeah, I feel like I don't want to say that I'm accepting the loss, but it is what it is, you know. I cannot change it now. I don't know what's happening. We don't have answers, because like in scrims we are very different team, and I just have no idea what's happening officially. It's probably nerves, and yeah, we are just playing like really shit, to be honest, and it's like tilting, because obviously you see that you have like you're much more capable of something else, but yeah, we just cannot convert it into official. Like we are throwing advantages, we are not fighting for space, we are like our communication is very very off. So yeah, just everything is off.
Does it feel like the team has not been able to just follow your fundamentals? You know, just playing out fundamentals and then have that kind of work from there. Do you feel like that kind of has been the biggest issue, or if not, any other issue that you feel has been affected the team?
To be honest, I don't know. Like for us, I think the biggest loss was when we lost to Team Heretics, like last, I mean the split one. Like we were winning like Icebox and we just threw it, and I think that kind of hit us like hard. And since then, like we are trying to find answers, but the more we are trying to find answers, the more I feel like we are just like drowning in the answers, you know. Like maybe I don't know. It just like really I can see that like the way we are playing scrims, like obviously I can be self-critic, and I'm not saying this with ego, but I can see that like if we would be able to convert this, I don't think we would be a problem to beat any team, like literally anyone. But yeah, we just can't, and it is what it is. And we have one more match to go, and yeah, we'll most likely still make playoffs. It just doesn't lie in our hands, and yeah, I think if we don't qualify to champions, it's completely fair, because I don't think we deserve it at this moment, you know. We just play really bad.
I want to cover the series real quick before covering the other topics for this conversation. Just sort of talking about Bayern, you know, it was obviously much more close compared to the second map in the way it did. Just sort of, what do you think was the biggest obstacle that the team faced there? And then also, in addition to that, what do you think just made it that much more difficult for the team in that second map in the series?
So I think Bind was kind of interesting, especially attack, because I feel like there was like a lot of rounds which we drew, and I don't know, they just played really simple. They played aggressive, and it's something what we didn't like expect. But on the other hand, like they have ult, and they just like it was so obvious that they're gonna play for a take. We get to the side, but it was so obvious that we felt like it cannot be true, no? Like we just couldn't trust it, and I feel like this is the problem which we're dealing in official, because in scrims it's a clear read, and we don't like overthink, you know. We're like, okay, they're doing this, bam, instant reaction. But in the official, it's like there is just too many people talking at the same time, But yeah, it went like what really went south was our advantages. I think we were very leading on first bloods, and there was like I remember 4v2, and it's you know, like in past we are losing a lot of advantages because someone overpicked, but right now it's the opposite. Like we are all hiding, we have advantage, and we are like all scared to do anything, and we are just, I don't know, there is like situations which we never were in scrims, like just stuck inside, not saying anything. They have all the space, even in, and if they have disadvantage, and of course they're gonna win the round, right? We give them all the space. And on the sunset, yeah, it's very specific comp. And I think we just got really affected by bind because we are momentum team based, and I believe if we won first map, it would be very different as well for them because Liquid is kind of team when you shut down, they are kind of scared, but we are the same, plus minus. And yeah, again, unlucky rounds on start, some whiffs, and it led into such a score, and it's just so hard to like come back, especially against comp like which you never played against. So yeah.
I was just about to ask about how you guys were fared against that TL comp, because they played no duelists and they had that against your different composition, you know, adopting the neon compared to like back then, you know, using mostly Raze and Gecko, Raze and Gecko, that kind of thing. And so how difficult was it from your point of view on just facing TO's composition with your composition, and how if you feel that kind of made it a key difference in how the match or the map played out?
So we, like, if you look at Paper X, they played kind of similar comp, and I remember we kind of prepared it in Madrid for them, and so yeah, we just kind of knew what to do. But right now, like, we swapped comp on Sunset, and we have different roles, and I just feel like we don't have enough time on the positions where we play with the characters, you know. And like against this comp, we didn't break it single time with our current comp, so maybe that was the reason. Yeah, I don't know. And as well, to be honest, that kind of in both maps really not lucky, but really good moments, partially from luck, but it is what it is. They just like outplayed us on Sunset, like pure outplay. Like they put us in very uncomfortable situation. Yeah.
Now getting back to just focusing on the team, as you said, you know, comparing how this team is right now compared to how the team was in the beginning of the year, you know, winning EMEA, qualifying for Masters, winning kickoff, all that stuff. I want to see how you kind of compare the team from that point to now. And in addition to that, what do you think is the biggest thing that this current version of the team lacks compared to what helped you guys do well at the start of this year?
So it's like when you build new team, I think there is a use, it's called like honeymoon, and I think the biggest of this is the advantage is that you kind of don't know like each other, you know, so you're like just vibing. If someone is panicking, you don't understand that he's panicking because you don't know him. And the more and more you play together, the more you know each other, so the more you know how to affect each other and how to avoid it. But on the other hand, you as well know how everyone reacts, and you suddenly, if someone is panicking in the team, it easily has impact on you, right? And like you can hear it in voice. And I think this is something what is happening right now in the team. And yeah, as I said, like it's you know, I think to be a good team and good player, you need to kind of find a balance where you don't do mistakes, but you as well are not afraid to do them, you know, like to take this place. And I think we just cannot cross either point because like on the beginning we just didn't care. Not that we didn't care, but we just didn't do as many mistakes because we were not scared. But right now, like, it just feels like we do first step right, and then we just lose to ourselves like on the second step because we just crumble under our stress. And yeah, it's for sure the hardest moment of the team, especially since it's a kind of end of the season, so it's very hard to overcome because yeah, it's like you don't have much time to work with, right? But yeah, we'll try our best to at least do good against Vitality and then potentially in playoffs, but yeah, I don't know if it's in our hands anymore.
One more question before I wrap it up. You brought up an interesting point in one of your answers of how you felt the kind of start of the downturn of this team as of now started with that match against Heretics. I believe it's playoffs, and you guys were ahead in bind. You know, start of second half, and then Heretics came back. I mean, what about that kind of moment that you felt, you know, that was the point in which, you know, things started to not go right for your squad? You know, what was that? How do you kind of look at that time?
I mean, I think at the time we were just not good on bind, to be honest. I don't think like you know, like there's matches when we vote review and you put like you kind of categorize it and it's like, oh, we lost to ourselves, or we lost it because we were like bad at this map. But I think that match, like exactly, like there was a kind of meta just to rush A every time, and we just couldn't find answers, like no matter what we tried, and yeah, it was just impossible. So like I kind of blame that lose like to that bind, to just like not being good on our defense side. But the bigger problem was the map before on Icebox, where we were leading 11-8 and we lost anti-eco, which we lost as well today, like almost twice or 3 times. And it's these little moments which have the biggest impact on it mentally, you know. It's you can say whatever you want, like I mean anyone can say whatever he wants, but this impact like kind of underdicts each player mental. Even if you don't commemorate it, you know, it's like, okay, we fucked up hard, you know. And since Valorant is like 12 rounds a half, it has like insane impact on the economy. So yeah, it was just really hard. So yeah, I think that was like more the icebox, not the mind.
I understand that. Well, it's unfortunate that you guys were coming off of a loss like this, but hopefully you guys can bounce back for this final match of the regular season. And that said, I'm going to wrap up the interview right here. Magnum, thank you so much for taking the time for doing this interview real quick. Really do appreciate it. And of course, best of luck goes to you next week.
Okay, thank you. See ya.
All right.